18,144 pounds of brick being delivered here today for that building. That's 10 cubes of brick, and we're not ready for it. Also, that's not an invoice. That's right, Ohana. That's over 5,000 king-size bricks being delivered here today for the dream shot that we're calling the Mobetta Garage that we have to put on the exteriors and make this thing HOA compliant. But we're not ready for it just yet. We gotta get moving. Now, when this is all said and done, this building's gonna have a 4-foot brick wainscot on 3 sides of the building. So the west, north, and east sides. Now the south facing side is gonna be 100% brick and stone all the way to the top. And that brick being delivered here today needs to go somewhere, and I figured somewhere over here. And given the fact that we've never done anything like this before, I'm anticipating screwing up quite a bit. So I over-ordered on the brick. And a forewarning for today's video, we're gonna be all over the place. We've got brick, we're breaking concrete, we've got siding, and I'm hand painting this entire shop. Let's go. You're supposed to call me beforehand, big and tall. All right, guys, looks like that's from me. You're supposed to call me even in advance to showing up. I just got a text from my neighbor. Like, I think that's your brick. He's right. That's good. Problem is, there's so much mud everywhere right now. You think those will sink?
Oh no, these won't sink. Tires will probably make a little bit of mark with 2 rows of brick.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, Ohana. Look at that, guys. Our first 2 cubes of brick. And that color looks perfect. Yes. That was the part I was so nervous about because I wasn't able to confirm beforehand with any samples or anything. I just ordered the color, and that color, yeah, that color looks dead on. All right, so this is 2 cubes out of the 10 being delivered. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and probably 10. So we'll go right here. That'll have to work. Yeah, you can go ahead and drive on this. I gotta level it out after anyways. Let's try this. That is a lot of brick. Just a mud fest over here right now. Thank you for raining at the wrong time. Once again, Texas. And on this next one, I'm gonna have you put 2 and then 2. Does that work? I'm trying to pretend I've done this before. 2 more cubes. It's actually working out for the better. This will allow me to get up and through here without climbing over brick. This is so exciting. This has been such a long time coming. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 cubes, Red River brick, Mayfield coloring, Mineral Wells plant apparently, but yeah, we found the actual plant that produced the original brick that went on the house. And here we have allegedly a matching set. There will obviously be a slight variation given that's 8-year-old brick now and this is relatively new, but that coloring, I'm actually incredibly relieved right now. This is one of those things that I was like really concerned about. That is dead on perfect. Maui! Dude, we got brick. We did. That worked out really well. 10 cubes in this Mayfield color, which is perfect because we have to match that according to our HOA regulations. This is the last of the brick you're going to be seeing for today because we have a ton to get done before we even start laying brick. We need to put our battens at 4 foot on center, going all the way down. We determined we're gonna go ahead and sit with that 48-inch spacing. I think it looks really good. It's a little bit unique to what you typically see on a board and batten. We need to finish that up, and we have about a pallet's worth of caulking that's gonna be needed to get done before we start painting, and then we have paint, and then we get to our brick. According to the feedback in our last video, it sounds like painting next is the best bet to do before we start bricking. We're in for a long day. On the east side of our building, there are unfortunately quite a few nails that ended up missing their mark. So we got 1, 2, 3 right there, 1, 2, 3, 4 in that little pocket, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was kind of a mess on this east side, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock those back out, actually nail them in correctly, hit my marks this time, and we have not yet reset since our last video. Everything is still a mess. And how this usually works running this channel is kind of a one-man operation. Is in between videos I have to stop and reset. That means all the tools go back where they belong, try to get cleaned up, straightened up, or else everything just becomes a complete nightmare. And this area, yeah, everything is still out. So we need to get that straightened up. But we also have some goodies from Lifetime Products, which I just got in, which is gonna make this area much more organized. I'm stoked. It's definitely gonna be much better.
I should be running from you, darling, now to
Last two pieces. We got our springs here. These things are epic. Right underneath the Lone Star Hawaiian Aloha. But here we have these springs. We're gonna hook these guys in. Just wrap underneath. This latch. All right, this is obviously two kits put together to make one really large 94.5-inch workspace. I mean, come on, how epic is this? How easy is it just to pop this guy up here? They latch in place when I want it. I'm gonna unlatch that, drop that down, and it being two kits put together side by side. I have a 95-inch workspace here at the top, sitting 36 inches, countertop height, wood finish, and it being from the Lifetime Products brand. And my favorite part, this powder coat finish, is always flawless. So not really a big deal, but at the same time, a huge deal, because this is the first workspace, dedicated workspace we have in the Lone Star Hawaiian low beta garage. Landon, you're the man. Obviously, we do have plans to finish out the entire interior of this shop. So when that day comes, we're gonna simply take out those 4 lag bolts, slide this off the wall, finish out the wall, put it back on the wall. And I plan on using those Lifetime workbenches for a very long time coming. Also, we did a fun experiment a few weeks ago,
pouring concrete using 2 different methods, traditional wet pour and then also this new dry pour thing. And as expected, the internet exploded. And it's finally time to figure out if dry pours are really as bad as they say.
That's a really big concrete rock. This is also a really big concrete rock, but the process in which these were made were much different. This was done in a wet pour method. The correct method, most would say, even using a mud mixture, get that perfect consistency of concrete and water. This, on the other hand, was done using a method that's been taking the internet by storm, called a dry pour. Essentially tossing a lot of concrete powder in a hole, throwing water on top of it, letting it get hard. However, it's done in a very prescriptive way where you let the top solidify and harden, and you go through several rounds of soaking over the process of several hours to end with the end result of dry pour concrete. And I committed. So much so I poured a pad on the backside of the shop using both methods on the same day and the same elements using the same concrete mix. The question is, how strong are they really? It's been exactly 44 days since I poured both of these on the same day, and they've lived the same life up to this point. But before we dive into this concrete test, I want to give a big mahalos and shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Element. Now, if you guys have been watching this Dream Shop build series at any point in time, it's likely you've seen me talk about Element because I absolutely love this stuff. An Element, that's LMNT, fun play on the letters there, is a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix that's born from the growing body of research that optimal health outcomes occur at sodium levels 2 to 3 times that, 2 to 3 times that of government recommendations. And yeah, it helps you stay hydrated, that's obvious. But some of the things I've learned about doing more and more research about optimal hydration, it's been kind of shocking.
I don't know about you guys, but I remember constantly being told to drink 8 glasses of water per day, thirsty or not. But healthy hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's water and electrolytes. It makes sense. You lose both water and sodium when you sweat. You need both to be replaced to prevent muscle cramps, headaches, and dips in energy. But why are we only replacing with water?
That's because since the 1940s, we've been told to drink 8 glasses of water per day, thirsty or not. The 1940s. It wasn't until the 1960s, like 20 years later, they determined smoking's probably not a good idea. Can hold the truck. All right guys, do me a solid here. Go to drinkelement.com/Lone Star. You can score yourself a free sample pack with any purchase. And as always, there's no risk to that purchase because if you guys don't love it, you can return it. No questions asked. And to all my fellow landlocked Hawaiians out there, this citrus salt flavor is as close to that first duck dive paddling out for a surf sesh as I'm ever gonna get out here in North Texas. And you can quote me on that. Love this stuff. Big mahalos to Element for sponsoring today's video. Break up some concrete. Well, our first DIY strength test is running over these pieces of concrete with a half-ton truck, and both are just fine. No cracks just yet. And to warn you guys, we are doing a very Hawaiian redneck method of concrete testing this. There are better tests out there with actual PSI tests and Swedish hammers. That is not what you're getting in this test. I'll forewarn you. Still good? And this is something I expected. So I did a dry pour. I followed all the steps required to get that to soak all the way through the 4 inches of concrete, but the bottom seemed like it didn't all get through. Yeah, so there's the back side of the 4-inch. And clearly this is the dry pour. And this one, not dry pour, mud mixer pour. And then you tell me which one looks cooler.
So on the back, I noticed, I just saw one. I just see, it's like, and it's going backwards. I just pull it up, it happens again.
Top notch analysis. All right, it should be clear as day which one actually looks better from a finish standpoint. Mud mixer pour looks fantastic, nice brush finish. We etched a little wave in here just for the fun of it. And in the dry pour method, there's no other word for it. It looks horrible. Which one looks better? That one? Yeah. Wet pour, dry pour. Pretty ugly. TikTok, real life. 3, 2, 1. Drop it. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Da-na-na-na. I got a new toy just for this test. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. 3, 2, 1. All right, well, I didn't expect it to actually crack in half, but it did. So 10-pound hammer from about 8.5 feet. Exact same drop, a split directly down the middle. This one crumbled everywhere. So let's open these guys up and take a look. Dry pour not looking good. It's like a puzzle, gotta put it back together. That one cracked in half. Clean break. But as you can see, the middle section seems a little bit patchy. It's a tad bit patchy. Dry pour broke in 5 pieces. Same brand of concrete, everything the same besides dry pour, wet pour. You guys tell me, which one do you think is stronger? Definitely as I expected with the results, but I didn't expect it to be that easy to crack through 4 inches of concrete. However, no rebar on either of these. Cracking straight across tells me a lot versus this. Every time it cracked, it didn't just crack, it crumbled. You TikTokers out there doing that dry pour stuff, that's what's in there, guys. That's your concrete. Versus my wet pour, guys, solid. Until you hit it with a 10-pound sledgehammer. It's time to finish up our battens. Battens on the east side, done. We still have a lot of like little trim things to do. Like for example, here on the corners, I haven't decided exactly how that's gonna encompass and transition to the brick, but we have 99.9% of everything done for the Hardy. So we need to go back and cover every one of these zillion nails we just put into this thing. So between caulking over the top of each of these nail heads to caulking in between each of these battens to seal it all up, that's what we're doing next. Woo! Number 5. Also, one of my favorite parts about having this channel is the comment section, because I learned from you guys and I didn't realize that little hole right here, it's actually to cut this guy. I had no idea until one of you guys put it in the comment section below. So as always, if you see me doing something wrong or have an idea of what we could do better, drop it in the comments below, because it definitely helps me out, but also everybody else that watches this channel. Tube number 5, here we go. And forewarning, you're gonna see some color differences in the caulking because I used up whatever else I had extra lying around. This is all clear, Dynaflex 230, and then we transition to white right about here. You're gonna start seeing a lot of white spots starting here all the way across. Patching every little nail hole that I can possibly see on the soffits, on the trim, up underneath, all the trim, the Hardy, and we have the entire backside to do still. We're gonna be spending a lot of money on this stuff. All right, keep them going. So I think we finally figured out the right way to nail this thing in to where I'm not bending so many nails. 2-inch galvanized finish nails, 16 gauge. Lost my level. Hold on. Full lap around the building. Here we come. Hold that thought. So I want this piece of scrap because I want it to be flush on this side. Check for plumb. And I got a feeling someone's gonna mention my bird boxes. And the reason we did it like this, number 1, I didn't know how to build bird boxes, but number 2, I think bird boxes are hideous. We're just running it straight down to the edge, and I'll trim off that edge to make it look nice and flush. Hello, Maui. Well guys, unfortunately, that's gonna call it a day. We've got some rain rolling in right now. It also happens to be Valentine's Day and I got a hot date tonight. But we got the battens done on the east side and it looks so good with the window trim and everything. We now have to do the behemoth side, this 20-foot tall wall with a whole bunch of caulking, as well as this side. And then it's time to get rid of this horrendous yellow color because we're going with, you have to wait and see. Speaking of a hot date, I think I hear someone coming in. Yeah, you can hear this thing from a mile away. Good morning, good morning. Let's get working. So last night, went a quick run to Home Depot. We have quite a bit more of this good stuff. Using Dynaflex 230. So out of like the expensive options, this is like the middle ground. Decent flexibility, but it's not crazy expensive. Also 5 1-gallon buckets because they didn't have a 5-gallon bucket. We're gonna see how far this paint gets and then I can determine how much more I'm gonna need. And then my dad let me borrow his really long painting extension pole. So I determined I'm gonna calm down with the caulking. So all the areas which are just finished nails, I'm not gonna caulk over those. The paint will more than cover all of them. So we'll caulk over the big nails. Finished nails, I'm gonna leave. This will save you a little bit on the material. All right, this is exciting. How's it look? Yeah, so when I did the soffits on the house, I had to do 2 coats. There you go, guys. That's the color. Peppery by Bear. Same color we used on all the soffits on the main house. It used to be like a nasty throw up green brown, and I painted all the soffits when we redid the gutters and the roof. This is gonna be the color of the exterior, and then we're gonna transition to brick. It's gonna look so good. All right, yep, that's no better. Today's weather forecast, partially cloudy, no rain. It is my goal in life to become a weather forecaster because there's zero expectation for accuracy. I'll give you that. I'm trying to get this caulking up, and according to Google, it's a bad idea to be doing this while it's raining. That water's coming off the roof.
That's why the paint can's right against the wall.
A little bit of a water-based paint. The tables? Looks pretty good, huh?
Looks good.
What's nice is when we finish out the interior, it's like 4 lag bolts. This pops off the wall, and we're done. Put it back on. And I think one of the main things right now, figuring out how this is all gonna work, is my camera batteries. The biggest time waste is me running inside to swap a battery, throw it on the camera. So now we have our charging station for the camera batteries so we can at least work and operate out here. They didn't have a 5-gallon bucket. So I was like, if you guys will just do 5 single gallons at the same price, I'll buy it right now. So I did
I
it.
did the 5 gallons, then I went back for another 5 gallons, and the second 5 gallons didn't match the color of the first 5 gallons.
Really?
Look at the back of our house, changes tones.
That's concerning.
It's not bad, but you know.
It seems the same as the house, so hopefully it is. But yeah, so we got 5 to see how far we get with 5. Kent did some of the trim stuff early this morning. I'm on the back still caulking. I didn't get very far before the rain.
It's the spotted shop.
I guess I could just paint it like the other builders do, but see, I'm building this shop for me. This is for me, not for anybody else, so I might as well do it right how I would want it. So I'm gonna do it for me.
A long time ago, it's like painting behind the bumper.
Weather is all over the place. Awful. Now it's incredibly windy back here, which just sucks. My only worry right now, give you guys a sneak peek of what this is looking like. That is wild. That is wild seeing that in its final color. Correct me in the comments below if this is going to be an issue or not, because I'm really worried it is. You guys can probably see what I'm seeing. Basically, everywhere we've caulked over the top of each of those nail heads, there's like a glossy sheen to it. I'm hoping as this dries, that goes away. We still need to do a second coat on top of this, but I'm getting a little bit nervous. Hopefully that second coat takes away those little, you see what I'm seeing, right? Yeah, you can definitely see what I'm seeing. Got Sarge outside the window. I got my 2 boomer specialists with me today. We're knocking this sucker out. Let's go. New tube, here we go again. It was so nice like 10 minutes ago. What happened? Texas weather. You can never win with this weather. Oh, you're spoiled over here. It's nice over here.
What are you guys complaining about? Perfect.
Walk around that corner.
I can hear it. I'm like, man, it's a typhoon behind the house.
You got the big gap filled.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing a jacket and heading back up. Gotta finish the very top. So the good news is the paint's going on a lot quicker than I anticipated. What's taking longer than I anticipated was the caulking. Here we go. No joke at all. So you can go around that corner. Woo!
Can't handle it. Bye.
All right, well, calling it a night. Big mahalos to Sarge and Kent as always. Got my boomer specialist out here. Catch you guys in the morning. Until then, aloha. And we are back for day 2 of painting. Unfortunately, the weather today is much more forgiving. I mean, look at this equipment, you guys. This is constant every day now. New pieces of equipment every single day. I was watching them this morning tear up that ground, and there's just a big dust cloud over that workspace, which means when they get to this side, all of this is just gonna get covered in dust. All my cars, all the detailing stuff, everything just gonna be covered in dirt and dust. It's frustrating. I've gotta deal with this crap. Learn my lesson. Out of city limits, out of an HOA. Until then, we're gonna make this as epic as humanly possible, and it's looking that way. It looks so good. You guys wanna see a sneak peek of the other side before I hop up on the scaffolding? Oh, it looks so good. And it's funny as the sun continues on through the sky, how it completely changes the dynamic of these battens. 30, 45 minutes ago, you can see the shadow lines on each of those battens. And then now the sun's in a position to where you can't really see the shadows. But everything one color. That's only one coat. Still needs a second coat. It's gonna make everything look even better. But before that, I need to get on the back side and get 20 feet up, get that first coat on. And I paint in a very particular fashion because I was trained by the gods. Specific training I got was called ADD. So I paint wherever I'm looking. I moved an area and I start painting over there and I forget about where I started. Anybody else can relate? Let me know in the comments below. We were just down there, now I'm here. That little half gallon I had left got me pretty far. Yeah, I'll be touching this thing up, I'm certain, for weeks to come. You know, if I did this all over again, I'd probably not caulk over the nail heads, because I missed one or two, and they look good with just paint on it. Nail heads, probably could have gone without. Why didn't you guys tell me? I didn't know. You guys ready for round 2? Starting back over there, all over again for a second coat. Got about 10 minutes of light left. Backside, done. 2 full coats, thick coats. That should be solid. This side, up underneath the soffits, we need to kind of touch up a little bit. That, or we'll go till the light's gone or I'm out of paint. We are painting on top of the drip edge. This is all gonna be the same color. I did the same thing on the house and all the paint has held up perfectly. It's been a year and a half now. Big mahalos to Kent for helping out today. Well, we gotta try to get as much done as possible before the weather gets bad again. The shop is gonna look freaking epic, and in contrast with the building, I've actually impressed myself a little bit. Team effort, guys. Without you watching, this doesn't happen. In all seriousness, you guys have made this all possible. I can't thank you guys enough for just hanging out and watching the videos, supporting, commenting, sharing the knowledge. none of this is possible without you guys. So, bottom of my heart, big mahalos. I love it. It's gonna be so sweet to use. But when it's all done, the question is, what do we do next? There's more coming. I have so many big, bad ideas. All right, gents. And now the 8, not 9 ladies that watch this channel. What do you think? I love it, especially with that backdrop. Beautiful Texas sunset happening right now, but check out these battens. I freaking love this. The color, just imagine a brick up to 4 feet. And on the front side, it's gonna be a completely different ball game, but it looks so dang good. That was a lot of work to get that painted. I thought that was gonna go quicker, just like every step of this build, but it doesn't. We're not done, unfortunately. We do have some detail work to do up underneath this soffit on the west side. Also, I have a few experiments running on trying to figure out how to cover up these spots with these nail heads. I know it's not gonna be a perfectly smooth surface, obviously, but probably minor details in a grander scheme of things, but this is my shop. I'm building this for me. So I'm gonna try to make it as perfect as I possibly can, but it being the first time doing anything like this, there are gonna be hurdles and learning curves. This is just another one of those learning curves. If you have an idea of how I could have prevented that or how to fix it, please drop it in the comments below. We'll catch you guys in the morning. Are you ready, dude? Here we go. It's gonna be cold. Woo, woo, woo. That was your water bowl. Go to the bathroom, hurry up, it's so cold. This is ridiculous. Nothing's more Texas than the weather flipping like this. So it was like 65 degrees about 48 hours ago. And yesterday, just in one day, it went from about 50 down to 3 degrees. So right now we have a wind chill, I think it's like 6. About half the pond right now is frozen over from last night. Just to prevent any further ranting about the weather, look at my wall. It looks so good. Fortunately, this had about 24 hours to dry before the freeze came in, so I'm hoping the paint's gonna be okay, nothing up underneath it went crazy. But look at these battens, and look at that soffit, and those windows. This color, everything looks so good. I was originally intending on painting the window frames on the exterior, but the white looks actually not bad. We're gonna go ahead and hang tight to see what you guys have to say in the comments below, because what I've learned in this building process, I know nothing and you guys know a heck of a lot collectively. So definitely thoughts and feedback in the comments below. If I'm missing anything, I'm all ears. You won't offend me. I'm just here to learn and do this thing DIY. Fortunately for me, 4 days from now, it's gonna be 75 degrees again. So we have a ton more to come on the shop, including a fix for that front and also that big pile of bricks over there, which we have a creative solution. We found an awesome brick company that's gonna come out and actually coach me on how to do brick. So if you haven't yet, scroll down, hit that subscribe button below. If you're enjoying this, smash that like button. We will catch you in a few days for our next video, hopefully not in freezing temperatures till that day comes. As always, y'all take care. Ahui ho. Aloha. It's cold. Which one did better? Yes, you.
Because this one, it just has, and this has a big old crack.
Thank you, bud.